So you want to listen to a pretty alright podcast about wrestling, do ya?
Well, the natural lad, Jet Swag, has said time and time again that there's only one podcast that's the most decent and the most all-rightest in the industry today.
And that's... It's the Game Rating Wrasslin Podcast. Oh, hot diggity damn. Here we are, back again. Once too many times has it been so long. I don't even know what that means, but we're back again, and it's been a hot minute. And as per usual, you all know my name. My name is Josh. I'm here with Adam.
Howdy.
And we're here for episode number 7 of the Game Rage Wrasslin Podcast.
Good fucking lord, dude. It's been a fucking minute.
It's been too fucking long. Let me take off these fucking headphones now that the intro's done. God damn, it's been too long. And maybe it's been because of the fact that we've also had other podcasts going on. We've had other things happening. Now, granted, we should not have neglected wrestling to this effect.
One of the things that we prize the most.
Oh, and you know what's funny? The two major influences, I would say, in our lives are Star Wars and wrestling, right? And those two podcasts both have been neglected heavily. So,
which is good because that means we're working on other things that are
that's true.
Rounding out our.
That's true. We're rounding out our
characteristics.
Yeah, there you are. Expertise.
Traits,
yeah, there you go.
Characteristics, expertise, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, true. We're expanding and broadening our horizons, as it were. So yeah. So, anyways, I know it's been a while, and we figured that it would be. With the recent events that have taken place regarding, especially in the WWE, AEW, more specifically what's happened recently in the WWE with Survivor Series that just happened yesterday as we're recording this.
I mean, shit. There's a couple different things. If you don't mind categorizing
good sir, go right ahead. Go right ahead, good sir.
Okay, first, I do want to talk about how wrestling has affected our lives.
Yeah, okay.
Because I feel as though it is applicable in many fashions. I mean, we constantly talk about Eric Bischoff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, shouts to Eric Bischoff because
fuck yeah, man.
To me, that was like one of the best eras of Raw.
Oh, absolutely.
When he was general manager.
Yeah.
So his methodology of storytelling and things like that.
And I know, like, you probably didn't necessarily see WCW as much as maybe say I did.
No.
But that, to me, WCW was peak professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. That war that they forced each other between Monday Night Raw and the Monday Night Wars, that whole late 96 to probably 99, 2000 was peak professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was really all because of Eric Bischoff, because he pushed the envelope and forced everybody to say, well, at least the WWF to say, hey, we need to start getting our shit together. And we need to put out some good stories because look what they're fucking doing. They're changing the narrative here, and we are playing catch up at this point. So, anyway,
it's also kind of a interesting parallel. I know it's not 1-to-1 between WCW and AEW.
Right, yeah.
But there are similarities. There's things that happen that you're just like, shit, man. It feels like it's happening all over again because there was all the locker dysfunction that happened in WCW. It happened in AEW with Jack Perry and fucking CM Punk, which is something that we're going to be transitioning to fucking later. The fucking flashpoint moment of wrestling, dude. Holy fuck, man. So much shit happened on Saturday. But hold on. We're not quite there yet.
Yeah. Let's.
But the main thing is, I feel like I've been kind of dealing with stuff, and it's some of it is like family related, some of it is professionally related, I guess you could say. But I'm of the opinion that I'm on board with the full heel mentality, dude.
Absolutely.
This is part one of the podcast. Second part will be, I do want to talk briefly about AEW with the pay-per-view event that happened here in Inglewood, or rather in Southern California. Because I just want to talk about one specific moment, because I've never seen anything like this, but it has to do with Hangman Page and Swerve when they had their rematch, and there was some interesting event that happened on it, and of course there was Survivor Series, which is something we're going to talk about later. But yeah, if that entices you, please stick around. But at the moment, I guess we're going to talk about personal life experiences, or how it applies, how we have wrestling applied to our own personal fucking lives. So I am going to be generic though, for the sake of trying to think of the phrase. I'm just going to keep it generic because I don't think it's going to do any good to put names on people. but just, yeah, there's something about the heel mentality to unabashedly be yourself. I think that's fucking important. Don't play up a nice role to be kind to somebody or whatever because you think it's going to benefit you in some way. Don't be a fucking bootlicker. Literally be whoever the fuck you want and don't apologize. That is the heel mentality.
Yeah.
I kind of believe in right now. If you got anything else to add, like your perspective on what full heel means.
Oh man. Yeah, full heel it's the unapologetic ability to just be yourself and not give a shit. And that's one of the things that I find interesting is that's what makes people look at someone like us or whoever that we're the bad guy because we say what we want to say, we do what we want to do, and we don't apologize to anyone for it. We don't really care, right? And if you're going to be a quote unquote bootlicker, or you're going to be the nice guy, if you're going to play up the face role, you just get along with everybody. Everything, it's just so nice and pretty, and everything's just so great. People, for some reason, they like that, but then they also don't really believe it, I think, either.
And I don't think they respect you.
True. I don't think they do either. And that's the thing that I think people hate, or I should say love to hate about a heel, is that they don't like what they stand for, but god damn it, do they respect them for it. And that's what makes it so... That's what makes, like, people could cheer as hard as they want for a face, but they will never boo harder. They will never be more invested than when they're going against someone that they don't like, the bad guy, the heel, or the villain, or whatever you want to call it. And to me, that's what's so interesting about just not only wrestling, but how it applies to everyday life.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's like, it's crowd work. It's like, if you can get under the skin of somebody, whether they like you or not, it does not fucking matter because you provoked an emotion within them.
Yeah.
And that is that's all you could really ever want in terms of like your professional career or even fucking your own personal life, is if you can make a family member or even a friend say fucking wow, this guy did something.
Yeah.
It got under my skin. It doesn't matter if it was good or bad. But
yeah. Or think about it this way too. People, when they watch something, right, or anything, let's just say wrestling, because obviously that's what this fucking podcast is about. But let's say like when John Cena was champion, and he was champion forever, and people got fucking up to board with it, and they were just like, you know what? No matter how much of a mark they were for John Cena, they could probably miss a pay-per-view or two or a title defense or two because they go, you know what? I know he's not going to lose. I know he's got this. I'm good. But if you got the opposite, where you've got a heel champion that people hate, they will fucking tune in every single match, every single title defense, because they want to be there when that heel finally got humbled, when they got their fucking...
Or to see what they're going to fucking do.
Or to see what they're going to do, see what new ridiculous shit they're going to do today. And at least, the phrase that Adam brings up is to make them sports entertained.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Goddamn, like, that's what being a heel is about. It's about getting people, getting under their skin, and getting them to
yourself,
right, but not apologizing for it.
And I'm not saying that like you can't be kind to people, but you got to do it within your limits. Like, have some fucking dignity and respect for yourself, not to be a fucking pushover.
Well, yeah, it goes back to that old saying: "Do not mistake my kindness for weakness." Right?
Yeah.
Don't just because I'm nice to you, don't think I'm a bitch. Because I'll fucking come crawl up your ass and whoop it 6 ways from Sunday if you cross me. And that's where, like you said, not to name any names, but yeah, that's where we're at with certain people right now. Is you know what? We tried playing the nice guy role and being positive.
And don't mistake me for somebody that is trying to be an asshole intentionally. But dude, I believe in people, man. Like I really do believe people. I try to get in on early on people to say like, hey, I respect what you're doing, and you and I see eye to eye on things, and if somewhere down the road we can meet up and link up and do something together in a collaborative fashion, fucking mean the world to me. And I'm not always going to get the right answer, which is yes.
Correct.
It should be fucking yes.
Right.
But I just know that I'm going to get a billion times no. But that's the thing that gets under my fucking skin, is that you go invest your time with people and you care about them, and ultimately you're not always rewarded for it. I mean, which is fine. Like sometimes it works out that way, but man, just sometimes it just gets under your fucking skin, dude. Like, it's like a father when, granted, you're brought into this world by your parents, right? So you have no choice or anything like that.
True.
And your parents' job is to take care of you and raise you and all this stuff. So when they ask you to fucking cut the grass or to, go run a specific errand I can't think of, you're gonna fucking do it, because if you were lucky enough to be raised by good parents, then no questions asked, right? And that's that's kind of the scenario sometimes. Is you get in good with people, you try to do right by them, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's not reciprocated. So,
right.
So does that make sense? Is what I'm saying makes sense? If it's playing into the why someone would turn heel, I guess you could say, quote unquote.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. Shit. I think that the proper mentality, right? And it's not for everybody. It's not something that everyone can do, because there are some people that I believe are just generally just too nice, fucking good people. They're good, legitimate people, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think, and we're not saying, oh, you got to be the bad guy in every fucking single aspect of your life, but it's about not being a bad guy just to be a bad guy. It's about doing it when it's called for, or when it's right. You know?
Like at your job, dude. If they're like, hey, we need you to take on fucking more work, and you ask them, hey, where's the fucking where's the extra pay? Where am I moving up in my position?
Right.
When's all that stuff happening? Oh, sorry. Well, the best we can do is a fucking pizza party. Cool. I'll see you. Here's my fucking resignation.
I'll see you in hell.
I'll see you in hell. Fucking here's my resignation letter. I'm gonna take my fucking talents to. I'm just for the sake of fun. I'm taking my talents to fucking AEW and getting my fucking pie, dude. Like getting a nice little bump in salary and getting treated the way I fucking should be. That's a heel moment right there.
Yeah, and then going to AEW and causing a fucking major ruckus, and then essentially just going back to the original place you came from, and then fucking getting even more money.
Yeah, holy shit. Who could we possibly? Oh my god, dude! CM Punk is just such a fucking template of how you market yourself, dude.
Yeah, man.
I don't care
100%.
what you fucking think about that dude. The guy's a fucking genius, man.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean,
So
we'll talk about that more later.
Yeah.
But at this juncture, I think that it is 100% acceptable. It is damn near necessary for us to take on this heel role, to be ourselves, to be unapologetic about who we are, to do what we want to do and not give two shits about what anybody else thinks, to not be discouraged from doing anything because someone says, oh, that's a dumb idea. I don't think that's going to be very good. Okay, I don't care. I think it's going to be great. Go fuck yourself. I'm doing it. Yeah, whatever. I do what I want.
Yeah.
So that's where I think the heel mentality really shines, is in, because if you don't have that fucking mentality, if you don't got that dog in you, as they say, that heel, no, you know what? If you got that heel in you, all right, that's what it needs to say, because you got to have that fucking heel. You got to have that bad guy in you somewhere. And if you don't have it in you, it's you're just going to get walked all over. And I think everybody's got that shit in them. I think everybody has the capability to do it. It's just a matter of what brings it out of them. What makes them fucking essentially turn heel? Yeah, is it your job,
your friends?
Yeah, is it fucking your audience who doesn't listen to you, and fucking only the Belgians listen to you? Like, is that?
Yeah, dude. Because think about this. I mean, how much less? I don't know if I'm going out on a limb here, but I think for a heel, you also have to think about the psychology of an environment.
Right.
You have to understand the audience, and maybe, I don't know if this is necessarily true. Maybe you can argue against it. We'll see what you think. But for like a face person, somebody that's all good and shit, they don't have to put as much thought because they're just mostly just pandering, right?
Right. Yeah. It's easy.
And for the other side, it's like, I mean, shit, if they eventually turn face, if they have the elements of a good guy, if they're a tweener, you have to understand both sides of the fucking spectrum.
Yeah.
And everywhere in between. So,
and for me, it's, I don't know. For me, I feel like it's kind of hard to just be in my own personal life. It's kind of hard for me just to be face in general. It's like, if I'm gonna just be, because I'm not one that just sits there and panders or panhandles and just panders. Not panhandling. Well, I guess that's
pander.
Pandering. Yeah, I'm not one to just do that for just fucking no reason or even any reason, to really be honest with you. So it's kind of one of those things where it's harder for me to be a face. It's easy for me to be the heel because it's fucking easy for me. I'm very easily able to say, nah, fuck you. I'm done with you. Like, it's very easy for me to do that. Yeah. And I think that maybe me trying to be quote unquote, the bigger man or be the whatever, like, oh no, that's difficult. And I don't want to do that. Fuck that. All right. That's too much fucking work. And it's not even fucking worth it. Because in the end, whether you're in kayfabe or you're in real life, for me, being the face is kind of difficult, but I like being the bad guy, man. I've always liked the bad guys in every fucking thing that I do or watch, or every fandom that I have been a fan of. Yeah. Just because of the simple fact that, I think the bad guys are generally cooler. And one of the things that's awesome about being the bad guy is that you get to have that depth. You get to have the reason, like, why did you become a bad guy, right? There's like this whole depth of character that a good guy is just kind of one-dimensional. Bad guys are all fucking 8-dimensional. They're playing 8D chess fucking all day, every day with themselves, and that's why they're fucking such horrible people, maybe, or why people think they are. But I don't know.
I think I don't know if this is out of line to say, but it doesn't really matter because if you're adopting the full heel mentality, you don't apologize for what you fucking are. I think once we reach a certain point, I think we got to pull a Jay and Silent Bob moment, and just go fly everywhere to find out where.
Oh, all the people that talk shit about us. You know what, man?
Because people will say, "Oh, you are that fucking petty." You're fucking right.
You're goddamn right. We are.
Yeah. Once we hit that point, whatever it is, whether it's the podcast reaching fucking 1 million streams or whatever that goal is, dude. If we hit the goal of even the monetary aspect, we're fucking taking a flight everywhere. And we're just, I mean, maybe we'll do an anonymous. Actually, no, I don't have to.
No. We're gonna let them know we came, we saw, we whooped their ass. All right. You know what? We're gonna actually have shirts made, and it's gonna say, "You just got your ass whooped," courtesy of the Game Rage Wrestling podcast. Dude, I
might actually have fucking, a fucking clipboard. Like, you remember when you said this in 2009?
Do you go by? Do you go by? Beef Eater 69 on fucking Yahoo chat.
Yeah.
And did you say this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was me. And then we just throw the clip, cross it off, throw the clipboard, and start whooping ass.
Yeah, dude,
Steal chairs, putting people through tables.
I'm just hoping that this is an any % speed run to fucking fame. Not for the good reasons, mostly for the bad.
Yeah.
To just do complete debauchery to people that have wronged us.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be complete assholes. So, yeah, hopefully within a year or so, we can make that happen and turn it into content, because I would love to fucking...
to film that. And then, what would be even better is if we could then film it and actually make it like a legitimate wrestling, like have a ring set up, like somewhere where we're at, just have a ring set up and then just be like, all right, you said this shit, now we're going to fight tag team match. You better get a friend. Yeah. Oh, you don't have a friend? Well, I guess it's a 2-on-1 handicap match.
Yeah. And I hope this conversation enlightens you to tap into that side of yourself that, oh man, it's uninhibited, it's fucking crass, it's brash, it's evil. So you don't have to apologize to anybody, and you can just do whatever you want, whenever you want, and not give a fuck what people think. And if you have an example of that, please share it with us.
Oh, absolutely.
Fucking email us.
Yeah.
Make a video of you kicking your boss's ass or whatever.
Oh, dude, that if we could see some people beating their boss's asses, Stone Cold Steve Austin style.
God, dude.
If you give your boss a stone cold fucking stunner, I'm telling you right now, you are hired. You don't have to give a fuck about. We're not making any money right now. We'll pay you. Okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You can come work for us if you fucking. And it doesn't matter what country you're in. You're coming here.
Or
all right?
if you cut a fucking G-ass
promo
on somebody, dude, and you just wreck them emotionally and
emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Yeah. You just let us know, man. I'd love to have those fucking moments immortalized in video format or even audio, whatever you want to do with it. Pictures.
Oh yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Just let us know, dude. I would love to hear those moments or even see those moments. But do you have anything to add to this topic?
No, I think we pretty much talked it out with the heel mentality, and just I'm all in. That's it. I'm all in.
All in, dude.
I'm all fucking in. So, moving on now, you said you'd wanted to discuss some things going on with the All Elite Wrestling, specifically the show that happened here in the Kia Forum in the old Inglewood area.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I really had to talk about specifically is Hangman Page versus Swerve. It was a badass match. I think it was called a Texas Death Match, but I don't know what the equivalent of that is to.
I think it's just a fucking hardcore match.
They
just put a fancy name on it, man.
I feel bad for them because it's like they have to play second fiddle, so they got to come up with some fucking stupid name to compensate for something they can't have. They can't just say Fatal 4-Way. They got to come up with like the Great Value or Members Mark version of that.
The Final 4-Way.
The final,
yes, yes.
But the real highlight of the moment was fucking Hangman Page going ballistic on Swerve. And eventually Swerve was just kind of had like a Hulk moment where as much as he was getting his ass beat, like he just didn't feel nothing. But at some point during the match, Hangman Page, Swerve has all this fucking blood just running down his face. I'm not sure if it was blood capsules or it was, the razors. To make those cuts or whatever. But man, I've never seen anything like this. But Hangman Page just fucking drinking blood. So he did like that Cody Rhodes thing. Yeah. Where he gets on his back and then he slaps, what is it?
It's like the Gold Dust thing where he lays down on his back and he slaps you in the face.
Yeah. So Hangman Page gets under Swerve and he grabs his face, I think, and he just starts drinking blood. And then he eventually goes to the top of goes to a corner and goes atop the ropes and just relishes the moment. And I thought that was one of the most badass things. It's so cool that we had really kick-ass pay-per-views in the last month, especially a moment like that, because I've never seen anything like that. We've seen people bloodied up and all that shit, but to drink blood is straight savagery, dude.
Yeah, that is absolute barbarism.
Barbarism, yeah.
And I will say that I'm fucking all about it because I love that shit. That is some like drinking the blood of your enemies from their skull or some shit. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and this is where we're gonna get into the differences, obviously, between AEW and WWE. Where, me at least, as a millennial quote unquote wrestling fan, like we've kind of talked about this on other podcasts, but I don't know if we really talked about it on here. When we were kids, we were watching wrestling, right? We were watching the Attitude Era, right? When we were like, between 10 and fucking 13, right? That was like the age range or whatever when we were, or maybe even less than that, maybe younger than that, maybe like 9. And so you get into seeing, oh man, we saw all this hardcore shit and all this crazy adult themed stuff. And then basically after that, for the last, since maybe 2004 or 5-ish, we've really gotten this like PG
It's been
garbage.
mostly cleaned up. I respect it though, because if it means that we get Randy Orton or all these old heads longer,
Right.
the more established people in wrestling longer, then cool. Because you see some of that CZW or GCW shit,
And those guys don't last.
they don't fucking last because
Right.
they're fucking wrestling for chicken nuggets,
Yeah.
and dropping into fucking
For Dino Nuggies.
Those long tube,
Yeah, the tube lights on each other,
lights
dropping those from fucking two-story ladders onto each
yeah,
other.
doing fucking power bombs off of houses and shit.
Yeah. And that's great to see. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, dude, I mean, but it's so saturated that
It is, yeah.
that type of shit
Right.
doesn't mean anything when you're a nobody.
Right. And when you get to see it on the bigger stage, I guess you could say, that really... It's been something that I've been yearning for, at least, because before,
Yearning.
yeah, prior to AEW, I mean, we had Ring of Honor, you had New Japan, which you had AAA, which they weren't PG. None of those were PG fucking type deals. But I don't think that they were not necessarily to the level of what like I'm talking about. Yeah, they had crazy shit, and then crazy shit would go down, but those aren't necessarily super accessible like WWE is, right? If you have a Peacock subscription, you get everything, which is fucking great. That's why it's the only reason I have a Peacock subscription is so I can see all the current pay-per-views as rare as I watch them for free, and I don't have to pay $49.99 or whatever
I feel
the fuck
like
they're
you might
charging
get
now.
your money's worth now because things are starting to get interesting.
Oh yeah, you think you're right. Well, listen, even just owning it for the 1 or 2, because really I mainly would watch the Big 4 over the last however many years, right?
Big 4 meaning Survivor Series, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble.
And yeah. And so I felt like I was getting my $120 a year worth out of just watching those 4 pay-per-views for not having to pay $60 a piece. I felt like I was getting my money's worth on those. And then I can go back and I can still watch the old stuff when I have a hankering, But prior to AEW coming around, that was what I had to do if I wanted to watch wrestling. I had to go watch old shit, or I'd have to try to find where the fuck Ring of Honor was, or fucking TNA was even hard to fucking find, and TNA just wasn't that good. That was the problem. It maybe catered to a more adult audience, but it just wasn't good writing. It wasn't just the wrestling was kind of meh. It was just kind of garbage. And so, not to knock what those people are doing, but it wasn't to the...
You mean right now?
Yeah, it wasn't to the caliber. Well, I don't know really how it is right now. Well, technically AEW owns fucking Ring of Honor and fucking, I don't know what the fuck TNA's doing, but I don't know what they're looking like right now. I haven't watched TNA in a while.
But they were good at one point. It was when
Yes.
Kurt Angle and
Yes,
Steiner,
they were good. That was
Hogan and
that was, but again, that was like 2010s. That was
Yeah.
like that was prior when the WWE went full PG area. I was still kind of watching it a little bit, but I was mainly watching TNA because they were really kind of bringing the old heads, like you said, back, like that Main Event Mafia, all that stuff, man. That was just fucking
Samoa Joe and AJ Styles.
yeah, AJ Styles, man. That was just classic shit that was like fucking awesome. And I was watching that primarily, as well as, like I said, when you could find fucking Ring of Honor or whatever else was on.
Yeah.
New Japan would come on, AAA would come on. And so I just think that within you've got AEW doing these adult things, but they're never, and I hate to say this, but I think it's pretty obvious, they're never going to be the level of WWE. It's never going to fucking happen. And they're never going to overtake the WWE either. That's impossible. It's never going to happen. Especially now that the WWE's been purchased by the fucking whatever, the company that owns, the company that owns UFC.
Total Knockout.
And because of that fact alone, now it doesn't matter if Vince dies.
No.
Because that was the one thing that I always said was, well, you know what? Maybe when Vince dies, maybe AEW's got a chance. That's when there's going to be a weakness, and you can strike, and you can fucking go in, and you can fucking maybe do something, and maybe you can become the number one brand eventually. But now that there's a third party that is in control of them, doesn't matter. Once Vince dies, the machine will run exactly as it's been running. And, I mean, you can see it in the production value. Not to say the WWE had poor production value prior, but when I'm watching it now, it looks like an NFL broadcast. Like, I am not shitting you, man. Like, Survivor Series, it felt like I was watching a Super Bowl.
Okay,
like,
so here I have something to add because
yeah, okay, go ahead.
I don't remember if it was Raw or Smack. It was Becky Lynch because I don't remember if Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch is on Raw, but she wrestled against this. I believe she's Chinese. Her name is like Zaya Liang or something like that. Man, they kind of hammed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you know how they have the augmented reality shit with
The shit in the sky or whatever.
and
Yeah.
stuff. So when she came out, she had like fucking so she had the what are those things called that are they have knives on them, but you hold them what are they called? It was on the South Park episode. I think Stan had those weapons.
Oh, they're like tonfa sticks or something like that?
Yeah, the tonfa sticks.
Yeah.
She had those. And when she was swinging them around, they had like lightning on them. So it was kind of like stupid.
But
because they're...
Yeah. Only you could see it at home, right? Like the people in the arena couldn't see it.
But the thing that kind of makes it like hammy is that they're trying to portray the idea that these people are like super human.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of stupid, but I'm like, I mean, it's kind of cool, but to a 5-year-old, yes, of course, it would look fucking amazing, but it's just stupid because you're like, from your understanding, these are just people trying to wrestle and become champion. That's where it should end, right?
Yeah, right.
But you're asking me to suspend my disbelief that this fucking woman has
the ability to shoot lightning
out of her tonfa. Like, I don't know, man.
Okay, it's like, again, when we were watching the Attitude Era when we were like 10 or whatever, the greatest thing I ever saw was The Undertaker and Kane fighting with magic on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Literally shooting fire and lightning bolts. And even to this day, not that Kane really still wrestles anymore, but when he comes out and he fucking does the thing and he puts his arms up and then he puts them down and the fire comes out of the ring post and shit, I still believe
the ring post.
Yeah, only the ring post. I still believe that he's actually making that happen, okay? Because of that shit. Even though I know it's fake, I still believe that he's making it happen.
Yeah.
Because that was fucking awesome shit. Now, again, as adults, if we would watch that as adults, maybe we would have the same opinion as we do now, which I'm sure we probably would.
Or fucking Paul Bearer being trapped in a fucking cement box, disappearing for a minute,
Yeah.
and then miraculously
Just comes back.
at some point for whatever reason. I imagine it's because he's undead, or that's what they want you to
Right.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, well, it's funny you bring that specifically up about the magic and stuff like that, because after watching Survivor Series, I have a theory. All right.
Yeah. All right.
And maybe we'll get into it right now because we're going to talk about it. So, did you have anything else to go on this thing specifically about whatever we were fucking talking AEW? And
Oh shit. Yeah, well, because you were talking about the production of WWE.
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything.
The production
which is true
value,
because
yeah.
whoever's fucking operating the fucking media truck that controls like when to cut. Sometimes they don't get that shit right. And
Right, yeah.
It's been happening. It happens frequently with like AEW, and that's the difference between them and fucking. Because it's like a whole fucking thing with WWE. They're very.
I mean, it's perfection.
They get the shots right.
Oh.
Dude. Like when you have a spot, whatever camera angle they want, they get it, and it sells the moment even more. And AEW sometimes it's fucking lost to the shuffle because they cut too many times.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work.
And that's one of the things I think that WWE has perfected, and I think that this new company that's taken over has really embraced that, is involving the camera crew and everything like that, and the whole production in the creative, because you already know what's going to happen, right? Everything's pre-scripted and predetermined as to how the match is essentially going to go. So when you know you've got, let's say, 5 big spots that are going to happen in this match, you know when they're kind of going to take place. You can pre-position, it's up to the director and everybody to pre-position the camera guys, and then for the camera guys to know where they need to be to capture the angle. And then it could also just be the fact that they probably have 20 fucking camera guys down there. So they literally have it from every fucking angle that you could possibly want.
Yeah, they have people ringside. They have people fucking...
in the stands. They got the fucking boom cameras. They got fucking drones now. I saw a fucking one. It's like they got every fucking thing. And that's eventually what I'm curious to see what's going to happen, is when it turns into just all basically drones being the fucking cameras. If they can create drones that don't make the buzzing noise very loud, and you can, have a full fucking camera on there and do it, that'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, you could have like, I mean, for now it'd probably be like a supplemental camera.
Yeah,
like for a Hell in a Cell match, you get the above view angle, like the bird's eye view, but that's about it, because then it's like the noise of the fucking thing
would just overwhelm the fucking the production of it. And that's one of the things that AEW is bad at. They're terrible at, like you said. They fuck that shit up all the time. They fuck up the cuts. There will be a move that you know is a high spot, and mid-air, they will change fucking camera angles. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. That is some amateur shit. And that's one of the things that, granted, I don't know if it's a production issue or what it is, but that's one of the things that really makes AEW look kind of low rent.
Amateurish.
And amateurish, yeah. Is it's just like...
And WWE knows... Okay, so when you're selling the elbows,
right.
The camera will cut to the camera behind, so it looks like they're getting their ass whooped.
Oh, yeah.
So that you don't know. And I feel like that type of shit doesn't happen in AEW.
And
but I will add, not to completely shit on AEW, because I love it just as much as WWE, because they're competing against them, and I think them existing only means better things for both companies. But one thing that has been lost to WWE is the pyrotechnics. I know we already talked about that, but I miss that shit, and I miss the stage productions for specific pay-per-views.
Which AEW does that. They are more heavy on the pyrotechnics.
So maybe their hand will be forced to do more of that shit with CM Punk being at... WWE put the fucking nail in the coffin, in my opinion, so AEW's going to have to step it up in other fashions.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's stage production or really creating compelling stories amongst all... They need to drop the titles. Like, they need to narrow it down to, like, 4 titles, so they have, like...
Yeah.
No, actually, take it back. 6 to 8 for, tag team titles, intercontinental titles, and your main event titles.
Yeah, and that's it.
So I think that's 6. But anyways, what do you got?
Yeah, so... No, I was just going to say, too, I mean, listen, I love AEW as well. I mean, good wrestling is good wrestling, right? I mean... I don't want to shit on them too hard. But if we're comparing and contrasting, there are a lot of glaring differences between the two. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I think that's pretty much all I had to say about that. Let's get into Survivor Series. Are you ready to jump into Survivor Series right now?
Oh, yeah. Sure. I mean... I don't know if there's anything else to add about.
I don't think. Well, there's going to be more with the discussion of AEW getting the final nail in the coffin with the CM Punk thing after we talk about the CM Punk thing. So we will continue this discussion after we talk about this. But
all right, go ahead.
So Survivor Series, this was the first pay-per-view I've watched since fucking WrestleMania. So
it's been 6 months.
Yeah, I didn't even watch SummerSlam. I was just kind of not interested, I think, and I just said whatever. So. I watched it, and I have to say, it was a 3.5 hour fucking production or whatever. So, I mean, it wasn't shit. You got your money's worth if you're paying $9.99 for the fucking the Peacock subscription.
Yeah,
I mean, you got hella your money's worth. And then,
bro, they released the fucking shirt immediately after the CM Punk Survivor Series, and I'm like, I kind of like it.
And then what's great? They immediately did as soon as it was over too. They had this whole section on Peacock it was literally called Best in the World, and it was all CM Punk's greatest hits. Man, genius, bro.
So they already knew.
Oh yeah, of course, this was planned. They knew this was gonna happen, and it was genius, and it was fucking orchestrated perfectly, in my opinion, as only the WWE could fucking do. But
dude, only in fucking wrestling, man. I know women have their reality television shows.
Yeah.
But this is like, man, we're talking about all-time great fucking wrestling dramas. Like, just, oh man, in a million years, did you ever think that you would see CM Punk, dude? His last words is like, the only way this company is gonna fucking, I'm paraphrasing, is if fucking Vince McMahon dies. Like, those were his last words, and he jumps ship to fucking AEW, and then he makes some spiel to MJF that like, oh yeah, go ahead and fucking jump ship and go to WWE, and main event night 4 for a 2-for-1 buy, for the tickets or whatever, and CM Punk jumping ship once more for bad behavior because of Jack Perry, for
whatever the fuck,
for whatever reason. And back on the dude, you could never have planned anything like this in a million fucking years, dude.
No, I don't think so.
So anyways,
let's get into the pay-per-view itself. So the opening match was the women's War Games match or whatever. And I have to say, I enjoy the WWE women's division wrestling. I think they're very good athletes. I think that they fucking are competent in wrestling, which is something that's hard to see because I think a lot of companies put together a women's division just because they feel obligated to, not because they have the talent roster to support that. And I think the WWE does a very good job bringing chicks up from NXT, and pretty much all the people that are in the women's division at this point has started in NXT and have fully all gone through the system, even all the veterans.
With the exception of the woman from AEW that just got added.
Oh, yeah. What's her name? Jada Cargill?
Yeah.
But isn't she in NXT still? I think she's still in NXT.
I don't know.
I'm talking about the main roster chicks. Like all the main roster women's wrestlers are all NXT alums, I believe. And even like their top veterans right now, they all came from NXT. So now everyone who's graduated from the system is now in the big time, basically. And so, I mean, it proves that their farm system works. It proves all that stuff. But anyways, on to the match. The match was pretty good. The one thing that obviously you sent to me, you were like, oh, this is going to be a fucking meme.
It is. Dude.
And it is. You're right. The Io Sky... Right, that's her name, Io Sky.
Yeah.
Jumping. Now, I will say this: the way that she got that trash can up the thing was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I was a little pissed off because you sent me the meme before I actually saw it like happen. So I was like, I kind of was like, man, this is kind of whack. But once I saw it how it unfolded in the match, I said, God damn, that was good, man. They did some good shit on that. And like she literally, the chick on the outside, their like stablemate, literally.
Dakota, I think it's Dakota Kai.
Yeah, Dakota Kai she takes a fucking carabiner and clips it with a chain to the fucking trash can, and then Io Sky's on the top of the cage, and she fucking just dumb waiters it up fucking the thing, and then unhooks it, and then she's just looking like, all right, fuck this, puts it on like you said, what did you say? She looks like that fucking...
The fucking egg from the Garfield cartoon, like...
Yeah, where the leg's sticking out, and then he's just a shell.
And she just fucking jumps.
And just jumps off into everybody.
It's comical, but it's actually kind of cool, because it's like, I've never seen anybody fucking dive off the steel cage with the
trash can on top of them.
Yeah.
Man, and that's also, like, you gotta fucking know, because, like, you can't really see, so, like, you gotta be like, well, I'm jumping, like, let's see what happens. Like, fucking, and then when she landed, the trash can obviously falls off, and then she did this thing where she kind of, like, half got up and was like, oh, like she kind of waved at everybody, like she's like, "Holy shit, I survived!" Like, and then was like, "Oh wait, I gotta sell this," and then was like, "Oh," so that was kind of funny.
And then Charlotte,
she responded to that with like a backflip, a moonsault off the cage, right? Yeah, which was that was also fucking pretty cool and impressive.
Which is probably almost worse because. I mean, anything can go wrong.
Oh,
it was cool to see.
Yeah, it was cool to see, especially like because what's his name? Kurt Angle did one off the top of the steel cage back in the day.
Oh yeah, I don't think he actually connected it.
I think he missed, yes, and he landed fully flat on it, like belly flopped.
Yeah,
which God, that must have hurt because those cages back then were taller than they are now, and that is insane. But anyways. So yes, quite impressive. Overall, the match was pretty fucking decent. I had a pretty good time and I enjoyed watching it. I like Damage Control, man. I like that fucking. I like what they're all about. They're just being dirty assholes to everybody, and like I fucking love it, man.
Yeah, I mean they're really selling the whole Bailey getting betrayed. I think they're gonna have her go face because Asuka. I mean, I don't know how this is gonna come out, but hopefully. Never mind. Don't disregard what I said. But Asuka is becoming the ringleader of the group. And like Kairi Sane, which was like the pirate. She was like the pirate queen in NXT.
Yeah.
And then Io Sky. I mean, they're all Japanese, so they're all kind of like, there's, they're on the same page because, I mean, they all
came from Japan together. Yeah.
I'm sure they know. There's kind of like that familiarity and maybe like a little bit of a sisterhood going on.
Right.
And now and then Dakota Kai, for some reason, I don't know why she's in there, but like even her also selling the fact that the betrayal is going to come with Bailey. It feels weird because she feels like she's going to get excommunicated at some point. But anyways, the stable's cool. The Bailey face turn is eventually going to come. I'm sure it's going to be at Royal Rumble or something.
Oh yeah, definitely. That'd be a good spot to have it.
What else do you have about that?
About that match specifically, nothing really. It was I don't know if I had to rate it out of 10. I'd say it was a good solid 7.5, man. It was.
Yeah.
It kept me very sports entertained.
Yeah.
I was sports entertained out of 10. That's
Sports entertained out of 10. Good shit. All right, so did you end up watching the whole pay-per-view or did you
yeah, basically. Okay, so the only 2 matches I skipped were really I think it was just the one match was the that grudge match between what's his name?
Santos Escobar?
Yeah, I didn't watch that match. And then I kind of went in and out of Rhea Ripley because I knew she was just going to retain it, so I kind of went in and out of that.
So that's the problem with, I think, the women's division is that there's no meaningful
title defenses
for her.
Yeah.
And I don't think Nia Jax is like the solution. I'm kind of sad that they brought her back because there's been a couple regular Raws where I've watched it and she straight up like sat on somebody. Like she didn't, because you have the ropes in the corner.
Right.
And you grab on so you don't put all your fucking weight.
Right.
Dude, I think the first time she came back, she straight up like sat on Rhea Ripley. And I think she got like the wind knocked out of her.
Oh, damn.
But I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like she's like one of those safe worker people.
Yeah.
And I don't really care. I didn't really care for that either. And I don't see some of because they have this woman named Raquel something. I forget her last name, but she's very imposing. She's like twice as big as fucking Rhea Ripley. But
yeah.
I don't know if I care if she wins the title or not. Like,
yeah.
And everybody else, as far as like Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, like, yeah, those are all the familiar faces, and I don't really care if they get the title put on them because they've won it before and it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's not really.
So I don't know. They got to figure that.
They got to figure that shit out. Yeah, there's
I don't know what
an
the
issue
deal,
there
because I don't care. Like I didn't.
Which was funny is that War Games match was. I felt like the stakes were higher in the women's War Games match than they were in even the Rhea Ripley the championship match. Like
yeah, that's bad. That's a bad.
Yeah,
sign.
that's not a good sign, right?
Yeah.
And so, but anyways, okay. So right after.
Wait, can I add something?
Oh yeah,
else?
go ahead.
It's also not a good. Well, it's a double-edged sword because Rhea Ripley as a character by herself, being the unspoken of leader of the Judgment Day, because she's kind of the one that's been orchestrating.
Yeah,
she got fucking Drew McIntyre involved.
Yeah.
With the Judgment Day, so they could have this War Games match. This War Games match, but like she's always been kind of somebody that's been pulling the strings, and I think she's interesting in that way. But it sucks because it's not the fucking wrestling itself. Also, to complement both sides of her, the storytelling aspect, and also, or rather, the character and also the wrestling side of her, which is like the matches and shit. I don't think have been helpful for her.
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, continue.
So then, right after that, we get this what I felt like was going to be the dumbest promo ever, selling chips, but yet turned out to be probably the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Dude, it was fucking, I swear to God, it was one of my favorite things in the whole fucking pay-per-view.
It completely caught me off guard.
Yeah.
I was literally watching, it was Otis and his fucking, whoever his tag team partner is, and
Chad
then the
Gable.
chick. Yeah. And then it was, who's the other two dickheads that were in there with them? They were chicks, right?
Pretty Deadly, and I forgot who else.
Okay, and so then these other dickheads come in from fucking the British guys. I don't know who they are. They come in and they're like, "Oh, hey mate, you got some fucking crisps there?" And he's like,
"Chips."
He's like, "I got what? What did you say to me, boy?" And I like Otis because he's your typical old boy, fucking like Southern like America guy, right? So he's like, "No, man, these here's are potato chips." And then I don't think he said it like that, but and they're like, "Oh no, they're crisp chips." And so they're arguing over the bowl, and then they fucking just throw the bowl at the wall, which that was funny.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "God, now you see what you gone in and did?
Yeah.
God messed up my chips." And then so everybody gets all pissy, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, who fucking returns and pops up? Not just as a surprise to themselves, but also holding a freshly great done bowl of chips that's untouched. And he's like, "Oh, hey, it's R-Truth."
Yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend himself returns. And dude, the pop that happened in the arena was fucking epic. You could hear it from, even though this wasn't even in the arena, this was just a pre-taped thing.
Yeah.
The pop in the arena was epic when R-Truth comes out, and he starts saying all this shit, and then he's like, "No, man, y'all got it all wrong. These ain't chips or crisps. They're Ruffles, man." And he's like, "And they're delicious." And then he starts eating them, and then they start doing the Ruffles. What did you call it? The Ruffles Shuffle? Yeah,
like they get that guy Tozawa.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man, it was just so fucking good.
And then R-Truth is in the back going, "Oh, keep it PG, baby. Yeah, keep it PG, dog. Yeah, that's right. Keep it PG over there. Yeah, yeah." And so I have a theory about R-Truth. Okay,
all right.
I believe after the downfall of the Undertaker, okay, the WWE needs a mythical figure, right?
Yeah, okay.
And that's what the Undertaker has served. They haven't really had one in a minute, a truly legitimate mythical figure. And when R-Truth comes back out of nowhere and just appears and has this magical bowl of never-ending chips,
Yeah.
to me, I think R-Truth has become the new Undertaker. I think he is the immortal R-Truth now.
Dude, okay. There's some weight to this theory because if you've ever seen, okay, R-Truth has been in the WWE for like 20 years.
Fuck yeah, a long ass time.
A fucking long ass time, but I think as long as fucking John Cena.
Yeah,
if not more.
maybe
I don't
even
know.
longer. I
Maybe
feel
more.
like
I don't know. Point being, that guy's been around for a minute. That motherfucker doesn't look like he's aged a fucking goddamn
at all.
day. So when you talk about him being immortal, dude,
right? That's what I'm saying.
With Undertaker,
What sucks about the Undertaker is eventually over time we saw that man, he's getting old. He's getting slow. R-Truth looks like the same as he did in fucking 2002 when he was wrestling.
yeah, whenever he started wrestling,
Yeah, whenever it was, whenever he first came, I think he came into the WWE in the 1990s, man. I feel like at this point,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think, and it's funny because Survivor Series was always kind of dubbed the Undertaker's pay-per-view, and then it's funny that he returns, R-Truth returns at Survivor Series. Curious.
Yeah.
R-Truth, the new Undertaker.
You want to know what's curious is fucking the appearance of